What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the 2019 BMW M2 Competition. Huge shout out to Dane here at Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing his personal car for today's video. If you're interested in buying a brand new BMW, definitely check out all his contact information down in the description below, as well as Hendrick BMW. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in Hockenheim Silver Metallic, is lowered on a set of BBS wheels, and had an original MSRP around $60,000. Underneath the hood, this features a turbocharged 3-liter inline 6-cylinder engine that pumps out 405 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. The engine can be paired to a 6-speed manual transmission, or in this case a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. The power is sent to the rear wheels through an active limited-slip differential, and with a curb weight around 3,600 pounds, you can expect to get 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. And all running off a 13.7 gallon fuel tank, this car can achieve 18 miles per gallon in the city and 25 on the highway. We get an overall length of 176.2 inches with a height of 55.5 inches, a width of 73, and a ground clearance of 4.5 inches. We get ventilated and drilled rotors in all 4 corners with 6 piston brake calipers up front and 4 piston calipers in the rear. The aftermarket set of forged BBS wheels measure 19 inches in all 4 corners and weigh in around 12 pounds apiece. The front end has a super aggressive design with large openings in the lower portion of the bumper to allow maximum cooling to the radiators as well as the intercooler. We get sharp lines along the lower splitter within the front bumper, functional air vents on each side of the bumper to help allow air to go out and around the front tires. 4 parking sensors are up front with your classic kidney style grille finished off in gloss black. We get an M2 badge and then your BMW badge in the center. This features BMW adaptive LED headlights with LED daytime running lights as well, and the whole front end flows very nicely to the hood. The side profile has a very proportional look. We have large fender arches up front with the trim piece as well. A sharp line goes all the way through the door panel to the rear end, and then you can see the bulging fender flare for the rear. We get a sharp line on the lower side skirt. The mirrors have LED turn signals in them, and there's a nice cutout in them just like in the classic M3s. As we make our way to the side of the car, you can get another good look at the proportions of the vehicle. The M2 has a nice stubby appearance to it. We get LED taillights and then more sharp contours within the bumper. 4 parking sensors are located in the rear as well as your rear view backup camera. We get an M2 Competition badge, and finishing out with a matte black rear diffuser and the quad tip dual exhaust. So there's a good look at some of the performance specifications as well as the overall design of the BMW M2. I've always really liked the M2 just because it's the smallest car offered with the most power for how small it is. Over 400 horsepower and torque. That is a pretty good number for such a lightweight vehicle. The styling is so nice looking. I like how short and stubby it is. It just gives it a very sporty appearance. And then it looks super wide with the front end, the rear fender arches. It's just super aggressive. The front end, especially that bumper, is insane looking. This car's lowered about 1 inch to 2 inches, and then the BBS wheels look amazing on it. So anyways, now we're gonna take a look at the interior. I'm gonna go ahead and lock the car, and then just walking up to it, we can go ahead and grab the door handle, and the car will automatically unlock. We can get a look at the interior. The door panel is finished off in black. We have black Alcantara with blue stitching along the side, as well as black leather and more blue stitching along the armrest. We have your automatic windows, all of your mirror controls, an aluminum release handle for your door handle. We get a carbon fiber design to the actual grab handle within the door. Part of the Harman Kardon audio system, we have 2 speakers on the door panel, some storage and cup holders as well on the lower portion of it. And then making our way inside, we have M2 Competition written out on the door sill. And then my favorite part of the new generation M2 being a Competition now, this comes with these bucket seats, much better than the previous generations. We get blue stitching all throughout it, perforated leather in the center, and you can actually see a hint of blue within each little hole. We get the LED backlit M2 logo within the seats, which is a fantastic touch. We can get a really good look at the bolsters, super aggressive and yet very comfortable. I love all the solid leather as well as the perforated design in it, and then all the blue stitching is a great touch. We even get Alcantara on the sides of the seat. And then taking a look at the seat belt, this has the M color stitched into it as well. This features 14-way power seats with all your controls on the left side as well as your power lumbar support. And then making our way to the steering wheel, all black leather, we get the M color stitching in it as well and the M logo in the bottom. And then now inside the car, keeping my foot on the brake, we have a red engine start-stop button. We can go ahead and start it up. Along the steering wheel, we have cruise control settings over on the left side, as well as different M configuration buttons for different driving modes. And then over on the right side, we have all of your Bluetooth and audio controls. This car has steering wheel mounted paddle shifters finished off in a nice two-tone design. They have a nice solid feel to them. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have all of your headlight controls. We have a lane keeping assist button down below, one of the air vents, and then some stitching along the black trim on the dash. Making our way to the center, we have the LCD screen. This is all controlled using the touchpad down here. You can rotate this, push it up and down, and you have different shortcut keys for different items. Hitting the menu button will go to the main menu. You can go through music, communication, your navigation screen, weather, and different items within the vehicle. If we go ahead and hit nav button down below, we can do all the settings to change your destination. We have a back button to go back. Going under my vehicle, we can see parameters of the car. You can configure your M settings to really dial in how you'd like that to drive, if you want engine and sport mode. And then taking the shifter, with my foot on the brake, pushing it over to the left and forward, that pops it into reverse. We have the backup camera that comes up. You can see your parking sensors located on the left side. Turning the steering wheel, the green lines will change as well. And then toggling using the dial down here, we can actually toggle over on the left side, different settings you'd like with your camera, the brightness, the contrast, your parking lines, and then the parking sensors. Below the screen, we have two more air vents as well as your central locking button. You have a carbon fiber design just like on the door throughout the center of the dash. You can see the stitching running over on the other side. We have some silver trim and then piano black in the center. With all your radio and climate controls, you can set your different presets right there with a CD player, the on-off for the radio, heated seats for both sides, and then all the different functions for your fan speed in the center with an LCD screen as well. Your temperature, this is dual zone. All you do is rotate the dial to go with the different temperatures, and then your recircs and your different zones. In the center, we have a little bit of storage. We have two cup holders and a USB. This will close nicely to reveal another piece of storage right there. Then we have your shifter in the center. This mode right here, you can press it and this will change how quickly you'd like it to shift. And then we have your traction control button, your different sport mode button. Just pressing this will toggle between efficiency, sport, and sport plus. Sport plus, the exhaust sounds much better than efficient. We also have your steering wheel control right here. Pressing this, we can change that for sport plus, comfort, and then sport mode. Then we have a parking sensor button on and off. More of the carbon fiber design in the center here. All your touchpad for the rotary dial for the navigation screen. The manual parking brake has some black Alcantara with blue stitching, matches nicely within the center. And then just pulling this up, we have a little bit of space for some phones and wallets and other items. And then the center armrest does slide forward a little bit for some extra comfort. To take a look at the glove box, we have a silver handle over here. Opens up to reveal a normal amount of space. You can fit quite a lot of items in here. Then we can get a good look at the overall interior. The black leather and the black Alcantara look fantastic. I really love how the M2 Competition has these bucket seats. Nice improvement over the previous generation. And then all the blue stitching, and then all the blue accents within the blue perforated portions is a sweet touch. Now this is a 4-seater vehicle. There's a handle on the back side of the seat. We can just pull this to make the front seat fold up. We have some blue stitching back here, the same type of seat belts with the M colors on them. So we're gonna go ahead and hop on inside to see what it's like back here. So far, pretty roomy comparing it to other vehicles. We can press this back. And then there is a button on the seat right here. You can press this to make the seat go forward and back. We have climate control vents down here. You can change your temperature as well as the fan speed. But honestly, sitting back here, it's very roomy. I have the seat set to where I was sitting. My knees fit nicely. Having them leaned over a little bit, we have a ton of legroom and footroom. Nice little armrest over on the left side with some Alcantara on it. My head is barely touching just a little bit, but overall, for being a smaller car like this, it's actually very roomy. This window is really large, so there's a lot of glass. It doesn't feel too tight in here. And then looking at the headrest, these are actually in the folded down position, so they can lock up for a little bit more comfort for the rear passengers, and then fold back down for better visibility for the driver. So overall, pretty good back here. Then we can get a great look at the overall dash. Super simplistic, but very clean. Now to take a look at the trunk space, you can use the button on the key fob, the button on the inside of the car, or there is a handle beneath the BMW logo. Open this up, we have a ton of space in here. Obviously he's got a few items in here, but for being a smaller car, you can see that you have a lot of space in here actually. And there is a latch right here. The rear seats will fold down flat, so just popping them. That'll reveal even more space going into the cabin of the vehicle. They are two separate seats in there. Then taking a look from this side, definitely a super usable coupe. So setting off now in the M2, I've never even driven one of these cars, so it's really nice to start off with the best of the best being the M2 Competition. These seats already I really like. They're super comfortable, very easy to get into a great position. The bolsters on them are gonna probably do a pretty good job as we take some turns later in the video. Steering wheel is really easy to get into a good spot, super easy to move up and down in every which way. But just the overall driving right now, we're in the most conservative way, efficient mode, and the steering is in comfort. So just very normal driving right now. It is smooth and comfortable. We're going about 40 miles an hour. Really nothing dramatic going on right now. Visibility out is really good. You can easily see throughout the front. And then looking over your left and right shoulder, the windows are very large as well. And then just talking about normal daily driving, you have a ton of space in the rear for people, and then the trunk is really large. The buttons and overall interior is very similar to all the other BMWs. Nice high quality, there's nothing cheap about it. I like the leather feel, the Alcantara has a great touch to it. Everything that you touch in the car I think is very well laid out and super easy to get used to. So now we're gonna go ahead and bump it into manual mode using the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the M1 button. We're in Sport Plus engine. The steering, I think we're in Sport. We'll do that Sport Plus as well. And then this will be the loudest exhaust setup. And we did the rev, you guys heard the pops and cracks. That is a nice feature. All right, so now getting on to the fun turns. This is a perfect car to do on some tight turns. Already the engine response. Wow, that shifts so quick. I'm in the quickest shifting setting too, but my goodness, that is fast. And coming to a good sweeping turn now. Wow, that is lightning quick. Those brakes do a really good job. All right, we got a sharp turn now. Down into second gear. Wow. Man. Wow. Yeah, the M2 is a pretty quick car. 400 horsepower and torque, more than that. That is quite impressive. But the handling, like the steering, it is super tight feeling. No vagueness at all with the steering. Downshifts are lightning quick. This car makes you be on your toes a little bit. You gotta pay attention. Oh, it's so nimble though. And then even in a tight turn, turning radius is good. Being a rear wheel drive, you don't have to worry about any of the all wheel drive stuff. Oh man, I might be falling in love with a BMW right about now. But we'll do another nice acceleration from second gear. Right when you let off the gas, like the engine like slows you down, kind of like in a manual. Wow. And I love how every gear change, there's no interruptions or anything. You just like, there's even more power within every single gear change. That is lightning quick. All right, so then toning it back down to see what it's like just cruising now on some back roads, going back into efficiency and then comfort steering. Whole car toned down, it's quiet now, it's comfortable again. This does not have any adaptive suspension or anything, but in all honesty, going over the quick turns like we were just doing, no body roll, it handles very nicely, and then just driving slow speed, normal driving, it seems to absorb the bumps very well. It's not a super harsh ride or anything going over the bumps like that, so I like how configurable the car is. You can play with it in the fun performance settings, going all the way up to Sport Plus mode, and rip on the car on the track or on the back roads, but then toning it all down, it turns back into just a nice luxury BMW coupe. A lot of practicality, a lot of comfort to it, and of course a lot of the luxury features in it. And then we have the lane keeping assist and all the technology like that, but overall driving in the M2, I really like what it has to offer. Normal driving is there, but since we are in an amazing car, we're going to bump it back into the fun modes, hit all the good sport buttons, M mode, everything, throw a few downshifts, lightning quick. Oh my goodness. The turbo is super responsive too. I like how there's really no turbo lag. It's just super linear power. You have a lot of torque and horsepower. They pretty much match. Actually, let's see what it sounds like under a tunnel. Might as well get a good little clip. That has got a great sound to it. Unfortunately, we are about wrapping it up in the M2. One last acceleration. Yeah, this gets up to some speeds. But anyway, I think that is going to sum up going over the full BMW M2 Competition. I like everything it has to offer. I really don't see anything that I don't like about it. The interior is laid out like a BMW, so it's very familiar if you've used these cars. Pretty simple to use, even if you're not familiar. Overall fit and finish, the styling, this thing looks so good on the outside. In all honesty, I think I like the M2 the best as far as exterior styling. It's just a stubbier, shorter appearance compared to like an M4 or the older M3s. It's just super sharp looking interior. I really like it. And driving it, this thing is really quick and the handling is insane. But I think that is going to about wrap it up as we are stuck at a red light now. Huge shout out again to Dane for letting us drive his car for today's video. If you are interested in buying a brand new BMW, I'll have all his contact information at Hendrick BMW Northlake. Definitely give him a call for your next BMW, because you too could be riding in an amazing M2 like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a huge thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. We will see you all next video.